I'm not the sort of method kind of actor that a lot of American actors are. I'm from a totally different school, which is the British school, which is basically based in theatre. You know, we all in England start in the theatre because that's where most of the work is. It's the West End of London. Everybody wants to be in a play in the West End. So young actors, they always start in repertory theatre, which means you go to the provinces and you do a new play every week or every 2 weeks. If you're lucky, every 3. And that's where you really start and you learn your craft, which is what I did. I never actually went to a drama school, which I'm kind of pleased about now. Although, you know, I could use a few tips here and there. But, oh, I say. Lovely tats, darling. Well, we'll get to you in a minute. God almighty, I may have to get a tattoo after this.
We have some people here that could do that for you.
Really? Oh, wow. Did you get one yesterday?
She actually wanted to work for it.
Well, where is the one you got yesterday? Oh, nothing you can show us. Well then, hey.
I got a sports bra on.
Oh, that whole thing?
No, just the one in the middle, but the same.
The skull? Wow. Well, I think, let's give a round of applause. Because I think for the pain suffered, wow, what a skilled artist.
It was completely free and all
Free?
free. Not free, free-handed like you did.
Oh, free-handed. Oh, sorry. I was just about to run there. Anyway, now that you're here, do you have a question? Because I've got plenty for you.
How did you like working with Rob Zombie?
Oh, well, you're all, of course, Rob Zombie types. He has a few tats, doesn't he? I didn't really know who Rob Zombie was when I was offered the part of Dr. Loomis in the remake. And so he said, let's go for lunch and we'll talk about it. I went, oh, okay. So he gave me the restaurant and I literally came into the room of the restaurant and I saw a creature sitting at a table. And I thought, wow, what is Charles Manson doing here? And of course, it was the Rob man himself, who is absolutely the antithesis of what he looks like. He's the sweetest, nicest guy. Never raises his voice. Hardly ever gets pissed off, occasionally, you know. When you're making a movie, there's lots to be pissed off about. But a charming guy and said, oh, we'd like you to do it. And I said, well, do you think I should see the original? I've never seen any of these Halloween things. He went, no, don't see it. Just do your own thing. So that's what I did. And I know Donald Pleasance is a wonderful actor because, you know, I knew him from London and I knew his daughter, Angela, who was a great actress. And I remember having a drink with Donald in the bar of the Royal Court Theatre many years ago now. And it's funny that I would take over from him. You know, he was long gone, I'm afraid, but so he had no chance of this one. No, you can do a follow-up. What about it?
Well, how did you like playing that role?
Well,
Because that was a twist of character.
yeah, it was, wasn't it? You know, it's funny. Some things that you do are so short and sweet. Basically, I did all the dialogue for that in one day. Oh, wow. And I was rushing from one project to another, and he wanted me to do it as a favor, and I said, oh, of course. You know, because I really do, I love Rob, he's such a great guy. So anyway, I went in and did all the ringmaster stuff and all that in one day. Then the next day we just shot the little scene of leaving in the, you know, going back to respectability and all that, and putting on normal clothes. But it was fun, because when I got there, he said, I want you looking like this Amadeus kind of character, real creepy. I went, oh, that's great. So they just whitened the face, stuck on a wig, and I was ready to go. And I got to work with Judy Geeson, and God, and I love her too, but my mind is gone. I can't remember names to save my life anymore, but anyway, she knows who she is. She was great. And nobody's helping me here, I notice.
Somebody look it up right now. We're going to figure this out.
No, not Sherry Moon. God, no. One of us was the sidekick, you know, my sidekick. There was Judy Geeson and... do you know?
We're going to figure this out.
Meg Foster, come on.
No, not Meg Foster. I know Meg Foster well. I don't know, not Meg.
We can throw in a prize. We'll figure it out.
Yes! Who said that? Brilliant! You can learn my next part for me. Well done. Thank you. Jane Carr. Yes. Now, I've known her too since 40-odd years, because, of course, they're English actors, and Judy Geeson and I were with the same agent when we were kids. And she'd done To Sir with Love and all these wonderful films early on in her career. And I think I dated her sister for 5 minutes. No longer. I think. Can't remember. Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Thank you for saving me.
Wow, thanks.
My name is Adam.
Adam, great.
I direct short films, and I had a question to ask you. I'd like to ask a lot of the actors here is, what advice or what have you taken from like a great director, or like direction? What advice would you give to like someone like me who directs movies?
Well, I would say, there is the door, that's where you make your entrance. And there's the door, and that's where you make your exit. So make sure you just don't bump into anything on your way out. I mean, there's really nothing I can say, because every single instance is unique. So and all the directors I've worked with are so different. You know, Kubrick was an intellectual, a very quiet man. He was a boy wonder, he was playing the, I don't know, Rachmaninoff at the age of 8 or something, and he was, he was a child prodigy, and extraordinary, intelligent, great. I mean, he knew everything about cameras, about lights, about everything, actually. He wasn't quite sure about human beings and the vulnerabilities and fallibilities of humans. And that's the only thing that scared him, because he was a control freak and he wanted to control everything. You can control everything pretty much as a film director. You're pretty much like a Napoleon going around ordering people here, there, and everywhere what to do and what not to do. But when you say action, then it's just the actor. And so sometimes, he doesn't have the control right at the final. So I used to tease him about that, so that was fun. So sometimes I used to ad-lib a bit, and all that. But basically, and then there are other directors who, by the way, I'll say this for Stanley. I mean, when I asked him if he had any ideas on the first day, I said, any ideas about this scene, Stanley? He looked at me with a sort of wonderment and said, that's why I hired you. What a responsibility. Jesus. But I thought, wow, this director's telling me to direct my own performance, basically. And as I was in every shot in the movie, I'm co-directing the movie. Of course, I didn't compute that at the time. But in retrospect, I figured, so all the sort of you know, the shaping of the performance basically was down to me. But everything else was down to his genius and his extraordinary lighting, the look, the design, the shots. They were all him, of course. But any other directors, and I worked with Lindsay Anderson, who was an actor's director, who would, if you'd say, oh, what are any ideas about this? And he would say, look, Malcolm, you've come from this. This is your background. This is where you're at in your life. And this is what you're really supposed to be doing. And so, does that help?
Yes, that does definitely much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you.